If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC25, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC25 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today, guys, we have a new evolution to check out. A pretty good one. This is an insane evolution. There's a lot of really good choices that you could potentially go with. And we are going to be showing all of these different choices. Now, when you go down the path of evolutions, right, you are going to see some options that are going to be temporary that you could expand on in the future, or you can just EVO them right away and get some very, very good cards, right? So I'm going to show you guys some of the evolution choices you can go with. This one is going to have a bunch of options, okay? So you can see right away from the evolutions that it is going to be for the Dazzling Dribbler. This is a W evolution because the types of chained evolutions you could do right now, if you've waited, especially for the sentimental cards, is really, really solid, okay? So what you get from this is you get stat improvements, you get the Advanced Forward Plus. Advanced Forward Plus is a really, really big deal, right? And then you have Press Proven, Technical, and a +1 in skill moves. The player that they are displaying on the screen, no offense to him, is so irrelevant compared to some of the choices that you can actually go with. So when you guys are checking through these websites, okay, make sure that what you are doing is you're skimming through cards that, first of all, are sentimental value to you, but are also cards that will perform very well in the meta of the game, okay? Because let's say, for instance, you were to go to Easy SBC, right? So they can show you some of the best chained evolutions if you were to increase them with Dazzling Dribbler, right? If I were to take off Sentimental and go to Dazzling Dribbler, you will be able to see cards that, you know, could be pretty solid to work with, right? One of the more solid choices would be something like this, right? This is a nice option that you can work with as a center mid because the chain evolutions on him is actually very solid. Shadow Chemistry Style on this card looks really insane, right? This is a Spanish player that has really good play styles that can play really well in the right center mid position. He has passing, he has shooting, pace is in a good area, defense is in a good area, right? So that's the sort of chained evolution you have to look at. There's obviously some other cards here that could be of sentimental value towards a lot of people, but obviously, meta-wise, these are not the best choices, right? But there's going to be some cards that you're going to get, and then you'll be able to improve in the future. But let me show you guys some examples of some cards that you will not visually see, but you can actually upgrade, right? So it's always important to check out the individual cards, right? So when you go to somewhere like Footbin, right? And let's say, for instance, you're on the website and you're going to the most popular evolution choices, right? A lot of the times, they're not going to show you the top choice right away, right? So you have to make sure that you click on the actual card and you see what the best evolution choice is. So let's say, for instance, we go to Sorloth, right? So Sorloth, right away, rare gold into Dazzling Dribbler, gets an improvement as a physical type attacker. Some people are going to be super into this because they like to use the physical type attackers, especially with a card like this that has, you know, good physical capabilities. The shooting is there, the dribbling is there, pace is in a better area. Sure, right? It's important to go to the card himself, to go into the evolution path to see if that's his best option, right? And you can do the same thing by visiting some of the other websites, right? So we go to Sorloth, we go to his evolution paths. Okay, that's the best choice there, right? Footbin is right when it comes to this Hoyland card, when it comes to the improvements, because they actually do have all of the chained evolutions on him, right? So this is a very solid option you can go with, right? Because if I were to go to this evolution, go to Dazzling Dribbler, see the evolved players, and, you know, you go down the list, you're like, oh, you know, Hoyland's not here, 84 rated, I don't see him, right? You go to the cards, and you check them out. You go here, go to his evolutions, boom, you get to see the best path for him as of right now. And his best path is someone that turns into this absolute monstrosity of a card, right? This card has a bunch of play styles. You give him a finisher, the dribbling is in a significantly better area, the shooting is in a better area, pace on a controlled lengthy is great, right? If you're a Manchester United fan and you're using like a 2-striker lineup or whatever it is, this is a really cool card to get, right? Evolution from this is going to be Dazzling Dribbler, Intro to Stat Limits, Ultimate Edition, and you get a card that is only 10k, right? This card right here might be someone that sells for a lot on the market now, maybe potentially, right? He's going to be one of the top choices, especially if you are a Manchester United fan. But the chain evolution on him is crazy. 10k for this evolution, right? And it's a good card. Like, if that was a promo card, it would cost more on the market, you know? Yeah, some other choices here, like Jonathan David pops up, right? But you have to go to his chain evolutions and then see like what his best options are, right? Like if I were to go with David here, right? David, and see what best options I'm working with here. Just from this card right here, evolutions. Dazzling Dribbler is his best one. So, okay, cool. That's the best one that you can work with there. He does have a promo card that currently exists that you can potentially upgrade on him as well, you know, depending on how well Leo does. Always important to look at, right? But you can get players that, you know, you don't even expect, right? Like, let's say for instance, like Bellingham. You know, Bellingham's card, Joby Bellingham, is a silver card, right? Okay, silver card. The sentimental value is going to be kind of crazy for this one because I can potentially add Bellingham with Bellingham in the same team and then cook with that, right? Let me show you guys. Evolutions. Look at all the evolution paths you have for him, right? Dazzling Dribbler is the first one. You go into Power Surge, Ultimate Edition, Intro to Stat Limits, from box to box. Don't get me wrong, a card like this, if he's performing very well in the championship as of right now, he could get that improvement and become a Team of the Season card, right? That is a possibility. But take a look at a card like this in the current meta of the game with all of those play styles, right? There's a lot of stuff that you can work with there. Shadow Chemistry Style would increase the pace, increase the defending. Take a look at a card like this in the beginning of the year, right? Some very, very good improvements. Now, obviously, the links would be a little bit difficult with him because he is an EFL player. But let's say you're someone who's building a sentimental team with English players. Look at this absolute beast of a card, right? You go down the path, 10k for him, dude. 10k for him, right? There's some other cards here that you can also look at, like João Pedro, right? João Pedro is a card with a 77 rated. These are like the potential ones, right? You look at these cards and like, oh, really low rated. So I can do some crazy chain evolutions on this. So we go to evolutions, take a look at this, right? Ultimate evolution increases his card to be significantly better, right? You go down the route of giving him a Hunter Chemistry Style. You work with the dribbling for what it is. He has a press proven on him now. But look at the card now, right? He's a 4-star player. Advanced Forward Plus has now been added to him. So he becomes significantly better, right? Brazilian links, Brighton links, Premier League links, a couple things, right? We have this card too. Some of these websites are actually showing some of the chained evolutions you could potentially go with, right? But let's say you go with Cornet or Cornet. I don't know how to say his name exactly, but Cornet, right? Evolution. Take a look at this, right? Dazzling Dribbler, Intro to Stat Limits, Power Surge, Ultimate Edition Evolution, 4-star player. And this is a very key thing to mention, okay? Very, very key thing to mention is that if you take a look at this card, because I don't know how to search this on foot.gg, right? But let's take a look at this card, right? Well, not these ones, but I just want to show you guys something, okay? He's a left-footed player. And people need to understand that that's a very big deal to work with in the current meta of the game, okay? So you go to this evolution, you go to this chain evolution, you take a look at his dribbling, and you're like, oh, okay, you know, I can work with this, this, and that, sure, right? But he's left-footed on the left-hand side with 4-star. You don't often get too many choices like that. So again, for the sentimental value, if you can somehow get his Southampton or West Ham card, whether you're building a sentimental team, it's a cool upgrade, right? It is a cool upgrade. There's going to be a ton of choices you can go with, right? Some people are going to be trending in the game. Some of the low-rated cards, like you could check Footbin, right? To see who's trending in the game. You got Højlund, you got Sorloth. People are checking Rashford to see if he gets an evolution. Obviously does not. You get some of the low-rated cards here that might be trending as well, which you don't actually see. So we check out some of these other cards. Simeone was trending, right? Because look at all the chain evils you can do on him with the Dazzling Dribbler, right? Dazzling Dribbler being one of the choices here. You improve a card like this to be in a very solid spot on a Hunter Chemistry Style. First of all, you essentially have a triple link setup that you can do, right? You can use Correa, Alvarez, and Simeone in the exact same team and just cook with that, right? Nice little triple link setup in that way. You know, this is probably going to be the only chance that you can get like a more usable version of this card, especially if you are going for sentimental value. And there's a lot of cool stuff there, right? Dazzling Dribbler. Yet again, this is the card that was trending in the game. You could even see that in the game, the Chained Evolution is not even the best choice. This one over here is the best choice because you have intro to stat limits first, and you put them into Dazzling Dribbler. Because in the game, that they're not always going to show like what the Chain Evolution is, right? So we have a card like this that's trending in the game. You know, he gets good improvements. Play styles are added to him. Some cool stuff. Duran, right? This could be a really cool card for people because this guy is obviously a monster IRL. If you're an Aston Villa fan, again, you get a significantly more usable version of this card. Hunter chemistry style, you go to his roles. He now has advanced forward, right? You go to his play styles. He has press proven, he has technical. The usability increases. This is the route that it makes the most sense for a game like FC. The only reason why people don't go down this route at all is because with the way that the gameplay generally feels and the player is feeling horrible, generally, right? Not at its best, but generally, it's hard for people to go down this route. That's why people always go the more meta routes, right? Immobile gets an upgrade, right? If you're a Besiktas fan, Turkish league building person, right? Nice little improvements here. You get a Hunter chemistry style on him. This is like a good card for someone like Boris because Immobile is like a club legend for him, right? But Hunter chemistry style on him, 4-star capabilities. You would mostly link him to Italian players unless you know, let's say for instance, you went with like, let's say you went with Jetson, right? And you go with Jetson's evolution card and you went with this. Boom, that's a Besiktas link that you can work with there. He might have some other evolutions that could be better, right? But that's the type of stuff that you'd be looking into, right? So yeah, you have some other cards here, right? This one has received a very significant improvement. Indian players don't end up being that nice in the game as the year progresses. So this is an option that you can work with to make a card who is Indian that's going to be a little better to work with. Now, it's a little bit weird on this one because he has a power shot on him, and power shot's kind of useless. It's not really something you can want to go with. So let's just say, you know, we wanted to improve him, but we don't want to give him that power shot, right? So we go to the evolutions here. Unfortunately, his best path will give you that, right? You do have the different position changes, but it would just be a little bit weird on him because it's like, yeah, he has a striker position change, but then he has 59 shooting. So I don't know, someone would have to make some sort of concept video for that to work out, right? But again, improvements wise, without looking at the power shot specifically, like you get some very good improvements. 90 defending for an Indian player that I think longevity wise, you'd probably use him mostly as a right back. But again, the links and stuff would be a little bit difficult to work with, but it's an option that you have, right? Some very good improvements there for that card. Yeah, so you can see Højlund's trending here. Look, so João Pedro, right? You can see João Pedro is not trending with his highest card, but you look with your eyes. Nice little low rating. Oh, okay. So let me go to his regular card. Let me go to his highest trending, right? Dazzling Dribbler, Power Surge, intro to stat limits. Boom, better card, right? So you would look down this list, see some low rated cards. Jamie Vardy actually has a pretty decent one, right? So he has a couple of chain evolutions like this where you can improve him drastically as well, right? Intro to stat limits, Ultimate Edition, Dazzling Dribbler. Some very good improvements there as well, right? A Benfica player, female Benfica player, right? That could be really good in game, to be honest. So let's go to her card, see if that's the best choice for her. Dazzling Dribbler here at the very end. Unfortunately, she's 4-star, 2-star, but if you're a Benfica fan, Hunter chemistry style, she looks pretty decent. The only thing that's low on the card is the weak foot. So that could be annoying in certain situations. But again, the usability of this card drastically increases. Even this, right? Like a Celtic player, 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Okay, let's go to his card. Boom, best evolution choice. Look at this, right? So this one is a 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill move player. Look at how usable this card is. Right? Hunter chemistry style. Drastic improvements to pace, drastic improvements to shooting. Really, really good stuff. So again, when you're looking at these cards and you're going down the route of sentimental, you can go with really, really good cards. Like you can go with the basic ones that you see here, where there's like Lukaku, right? Like Lukaku gets an improvement from Dazzling Dribbler. If I go to his card, evolutions, you can see that's the best choice you can work with, right? Sure, I can give him a finisher chemistry style, but Lukaku will probably get like a promo card in the future, right? Probably going to be a few things to look at there. But this is like a really good example of like what you should be looking at. So let's say if I were to go to the evolutions tab, right? I go to players, I search for people who are Portuguese, right? And I search for all combinations, right? You can kind of go down the list and see like, oh, I can get like a really, really nice card for like a decent value, right? A card from Wolves, Oliveira, and you just search, you just go through it. Oh, which one has Dazzling Dribbler? Oh, look, Beto has Dazzling Dribbler. Gonzalo Ramos has Dazzling Dribbler, right? You go through them, combinations. Select evolutions. We would go to Dazzling Dribbler, right? Apply that one. That's a 10k one. Boom. Look at all the chain evolutions that you have here for sentimental value, right? João Pedro gets an evolution. Female player gets one. Right? Could be some cards here that you look at. Look, this would be an interesting one for the Portuguese guys, right? Nelson Oliveira. Nelson Oliveira, brother. This guy, I think he even has a better card. I think it's actually an 84 rated, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. It could be the best one, but I just want to see really quickly. Nelson Oliveira. So yeah, it's good that they're doing these evolutions earlier so that you have a good idea of what you can go with. That's the best one, right? So over here, and you can see Footbin doesn't even show the best version, right? But look at foot.gg. Intro to stat limits. Bro, take a look at this card, man. The usability is increased like crazy, bro. Hunter chemistry style, right? Sentimental value could be really sick to work with there. A lot of evolutions, for sure. Power Surge, Dazzling Dribbler, Ultimate Edition into Intro to Stat Limits. But look at the card, right? From a silver. This guy is never going to get a promo card, bro. No chance he gets a promo card. No chance, right? I'm surprised this guy even plays nowadays. But boom, there you go, right? That's another option you have over there. I'm trying to think of some like other cards. Like I don't know if they downgraded like Andre Silva, for instance. Let's see. If we were to go with like a Portuguese player, evolutions. Okay, so he technically only has the Power Surge into the Ultimate Edition. So that's the best you would work with there, right? But like there could be like young players, man, that you don't even know of, right? Like if I were to go to players and I go to striker, right? Let's go to Liga Portugal. Liga Portugal, please. Please. Okay, and we go to FC Porto. I don't know if I have to actually just click the league and then the club afterwards. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards, right? Who exists here? Striker position. Okay, maybe we don't have to go striker position. Let's go this. Let's go all the way to the bottom here, man. All the way to the bottom, right? Who's some young talent that could be someone that I could potentially improve? Oh, okay, let's see Romario Barro, right? Let's see. I go to Romario Barro. Right? I think he's on loan to Basel, actually. We don't have him right now, I don't think. Right? Let's go to evolution. Okay, so he doesn't have Dazzling Dribbler on this card, right? So that's something that you're improving, but you're improving for the future. Okay, so let's take a look at some other cards. Let's go to someone like this, right? Young talent, Gonzalo Souza, right? Okay, Gonzalo Souza. We'll go there. These guys are not going to get players. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just not. Maybe if EA drops like a future stars on them, sure, right? But look, evolutions. That's the chain evolution you could do on him. But again, Dazzling Dribbler doesn't exist. But that's what I'm trying to say, right? Like, you're going to look through your sentimental cards, see which ones you could potentially improve on, and then go from there. And then the thing is that a card like this could improve even further down the line. That's the important thing to mention, right? If a card is left-footed, right? Left-footed, that's a really big variable, but unfortunately this card does not have the position changes and stuff, right? So that would obviously be like a really helpful thing, but that's just what you would have to look at, right? So go to Footbin, check out some of the cards. This guy was trending. You can see that he was on the easy SBC category, right? Because if you go to his card here, he gets a pretty drastic improvement from this, right? Some very, very good stuff. He has holding CDM++, shadow chemistry style, good pace boost, good defending boost, right? And he's French, so a lot of people are going to want to work with that, with the intercept as well. And then again, you go down this list, you see what like chain evolutions there are. You go sentimental, you could probably find something pretty cool as well. Portuguese, for instance, for me would be the route. Oh, Joel Montero, right? Look at this. So this is a card who plays on the left hand side. If I go to his player bio, He is a person who is right-footed. Do I want to use a right-footed player on the left-hand side? No, but he has like different position changes, right? So striker, all that kind of stuff. And again, it's really cool to go down this route for players that you probably know IRL that have been significantly improved. Like if you're a Sporting fan, like look at this card, right? On a Hunter chemistry style. Really, really increased. Advanced forward plus for the striker position, you can use this card. So you could do some cool variable where you're playing like a 4-4-2, and then this guy is your right striker, Gyökeres is your left striker, and then you go from there, right? So check out some of the chain evolutions you could go down. There's going to be a lot of really, really cool choices that you could potentially make, right? A lot of really good choices. A lot of really, really good choices. You can see over here, I drag this into it, right? So that's from the... You could look at the eligible players too, right? Like eligible players. Oh, Tony gets one. Okay, let's see what Tony turns into, right? Okay, that's his best one, so irrelevant to look at that. Again, the Benfica player we saw earlier. Does this guy get improved? Evolution, Dazzling Dribbler into Ultimate Edition. Boom, a way more usable version of his card, right? So, gonna be a lot of options. Be sure to check out the different websites. The sentimental value cards you could potentially go with. You could see Appen is now in the actual website trending because people can actually see him. Right, so Dazzling Dribbler, and then these are the options that you get. You get players from like Brentford that shows up here, like Wissa, who gets one. Okay, go to his card, Evolution Chain. Is that his best one? No, right? So you just gotta check out. Well, I can't say it's not the best one because in the future when they drop other evolutions, it could become the best one, right? That's the thing that people have to always think about too, right? But yeah, Brobe gets one. Right? If you're an Ajax fan, you get an improvement there. A Villa gets one. Evolution, 84 rated. This one doesn't have Dazzling Dribbler. Okay, we go to the next one. No Dazzling Dribbler there. But again, like just because you don't initially go down that route does not mean that the cards can't be better in the future, because it all depends on the types of play styles that you want in the cards and where you want their stats to be at the current meta of the game. Okay? So that's pretty much it to talk about. Again, a lot of really good choices. Be sure to really skim through the list here because there's going to be a lot of good stuff to work with. So yeah, an insane evolution. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.